Oh,
Okay, so knowledge is power. Once you have knowledge, then you have access to everything. Hello, my esteemed viewers. Today we are going to discuss about traveling with minors to Hague Treaty signed countries. Um, there is a treaty called the Hague Treaty Against Abduction that most countries that signed against it was to prevent children from being abducted. And yes, parents also can abduct their own children, because if you are sharing custody with another parent, then what happens to the child must be shared among both parents. But it became so rife that one parent was doing something with the child and not informing the other parent, and crossing borders with those children and denying access to the other parent to the children. So due to this, many countries signed the Hague Treaty Against Abduction. It means that before you cross one border to another with a child, the other parent or the other custodian must be aware and give you permission so that you all work together. So when you're traveling with a child, or immigrating or relocating with minors to countries that have signed the Hague Treaty, then you must always have that consent from the other parent that they have given you permission to travel with this child to enter that territory. Okay, most of the African and Arab countries have not signed or ratified the Hague Treaty Against Abduction of Children. Yeah, I know my country has not signed. So if you're traveling from Kenya to Dubai with a child, or to another country that has not signed a Hague Treaty Against Abduction for Children, then you will not need this consent from the other parent. You will only need a birth certificate to prove that you are the parent of that child, and their passport. So the situation is different. Many people get caught into this quagmire when they're traveling with their children from a non-Hague signed treaty territory into a Hague signed treaty territory. Also in the territory where they move, they face a lot of problems too. So that's what I wanted us to discuss about. I hope you understand that you cannot leave or enter a Hague signed or ratified country without the consent of the other parent, or without proper court legal explanation that is recognized in that country that you are the sole custodian of this child and you have permission to travel with this child. You must have that document, that legal document, showing that you can enter and leave that country with that child solely without the permission of the other parent. Thanks. I hope that this has helped. This of traveling with minors into a Hague signed treaty, you must have consent or a document, a legal document from the government handing you permission to travel with these children. Normally, this consent comes from the other parent. The other parent has to write the letter and give it to you, and then you take it to the courts, and then the courts are going to satisfy it, and then it passes to them through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and then to the embassy that you're traveling to the representative of that country in your country that you're traveling to. And then they're going to grant you a resident permit to travel with a child to that country. But also at any port of departure and port of entry, you must have all these documents with you. You do not need to go to court for this, as long as the other parent signs the consent, giving you permission to travel with the child. It's advisable that they could also give you custody if they have not been active in the life of the child. All this is a legal process. So once you come to me, I am going to direct you on how to achieve such documents, what to do, how to move step by step until you have the signed document, until you have a notary, an oath notary, or from an oath attorney, yeah, a commissioner of oath, and then you will need to take this oath to the government representatives, and then they will send you to the High Court, and then the High Court will give you, if it's a custody, and consent to travel with a child. Yeah. So I'm going to have the documents on how to do this. For more, subscribe on the channel and follow. I will show you how to get the consent and custody without going to the courts, without arguing, without litigation. Yeah. Thank you.